From the Daily Wire, FBI officially launches probe into New York's Letitia James. The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in Albany, New York, have reportedly begun a formal criminal investigation into the real estate and mortgage transactions of New York Democratic Attorney General Letitia James. Last month, William Pulte, director of the U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency, sent a letter to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi alleging that James might have, quote, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire government-backed assistance and loans and more favorable loan terms, close quote. He said that James had, quote, potentially included falsifying residence status for a Norfolk, Virginia-based home in order to secure a lower mortgage rate and misrepresenting property descriptions to meet stringent requirements for the government-backed loans and government assistance, close quote. He pointed out primary resident mortgages receive more favorable loan terms, including lower interest rates than secondary resident mortgages. 2 weeks ago, James's attorney, Abe Lowell, wrote a letter to Bondi stating, quote, I write to address the latest act of improper political retribution, this time directed at Miss James, publicly instigated and endorsed by President Trump. This so-called criminal referral, which recycles long disproven allegations and is based on media reports, lacks any credible foundation. Does it now? Well, I guess we're just barking up the wrong tree. Quote, Mr. Trump has singled out Attorney General James, dating back to her campaign in 2018 and ever more so during and after the trial and verdict in New York, in which Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization were found liable for financial fraud and assessed a $454 million judgment that is still pending appeal. How long is this going to take? Seriously. Well, you don't know about the case? You don't understand the documents themselves? What's the holdup? Lowell referred to what he called, quote, baseless allegations, close quote, saying, Director Pulte jerry-picked an August 17, 2023 power of attorney that mistakenly stated the property to be Miss James's principal residence, and at the same time absolutely ignored her very clear and all caps statement 2 weeks earlier to the mortgage loan broker that, quote, this property will not be my primary residence. It will be, I guess that's Shemice's primary residence, close quote. Wow. Well, then there you go. She told you this will not, in bold capital letters. So I don't understand what Pam Bondi and these people are doing. In 1983, James, then a recent college grad, bought a Queens residence for her father with some documents listing her as his wife. What? Well, this must be wrong. Let me make sure I got this. In 1983, James, then a recent college graduate. Why do you think that's in here? Why do you think he put that in there? Quote, he asked his daughter, parenthetically he puts, then a few years out of school, close quote. Not a few years out of college, a few years out of school. She was young. She barely knew what was going on then. I'm telling you, that's why that's in there. That has no business. That has no bearing on anything. Who cares if she was a few years out of college? College, not school, college. He asked his daughter, then a few years out of school, to help by allowing him to add her name to the mortgage application, Lowell argued. Mr. James filled out the mortgage material, parenthetically he puts, wherein he described their relationship as being spouses, and purchased the home without his daughter's involvement, close quote. Now that's curious. No, that's curious. It says, Mr. James, Letitia James's dad, filled out the mortgage material wherein he described their relationship as being spouses. So he put it in there that Letitia, or his daughter, was his wife, and purchased the home without his daughter's involvement. Involvement. Now that's the key word. Without his daughter's involvement. Notice it doesn't say without his daughter's knowledge. It says without his daughter. It's not like I was in on it as his daughter. I wasn't involved. He did it all on his own. Really? However, James, then 24 and a college grad, you see how he keeps doing that? That's to soften you up. Signed the notarized mortgage along with her father, and one of the documents, 3 pages that listed her as his wife. The Times-Union reported, quote, one of those references to her being her father's wife was just below her signature. Hold on a second there, Letitia. Now, I understand you say, I wasn't involved. Yes, but did you have knowledge that your dad wasn't your husband? Did you have knowledge that your signature was right above the word wife? Now you're in a real predicament. You could just say that he did it without my complete knowledge. Notice they don't say that, without her involvement. Big difference. No, it was I wasn't involved. Yeah, but do you know that he put your signature there? Because then if you did know that, you know that was fraud. And your father is completely liable. And are you going to claim fraud? You're in a real pickle. Now, is your dad going to take the fall? Or are you going to take the fall? Because somebody signed your name as wife. Now, maybe it's just maybe the whole property thing, you know, I'm not going to be the permanent residence in Norfolk, and yeah, okay, maybe. But what about this? See, this smells. This smells. Ooh, smells bad. It's either one, you did sign your name right above the word wife, or your dad did it and you didn't know about it. Although they don't allege that you didn't know about it, they just say that you weren't involved. That's all you're saying. In other words, I wasn't there. Yeah, stop looking at me. I wasn't there. Oh, so your dad forged your name and you had no knowledge, right? I'm telling you, it's not baseless. It's not baseless. Either she signed it or her father signed it and she didn't know he signed it. You don't get to have it both ways. No. This is, as far as I'm concerned, whatever she did, whatever the penalty, it should be to the fullest. Yes, she campaigned on getting Donald Trump. The very thing that an attorney general should never do. She campaigned on getting Trump, and then she made some ridiculous assertions. Huh? Yeah, it's time to pay the piper, Letitia. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.